I'm Dr. Mark Lyons, President and CEO of Alltech, and it's my great pleasure to share with you today a little bit of our vision, which we call Working Together for a Planet of Plenty. Of course, our story really starts 41 years ago with one man's vision, my father, who established Alltech and started what has been an extraordinary journey. He was a man full of curiosity, and he was always thinking about how things could be done differently and always pushing the envelope in terms of new innovations. And he used what he knew very well, which was fermentation. Fermentation is the core of so many of our technologies. But his ambition as an entrepreneur was to establish a company that would make a difference, a company that would make an impact. And we can see 41 years later that he truly achieved that goal. That curiosity that he always had and that focus on science and innovation helped us to create many new categories of new technologies and advance so much within agriculture and the agri-food sector. That scientific curiosity is what led us to open our first nutrigenomics center. Nutrigenomics is the study of how nutrition changes gene expression. And we established this nutrigenomics center right here in central Kentucky in 2008. We wanted to make sure that we understood what was taking place when we created nutritional programs at that gene level. And this has helped us not only to establish new lines of technology, but to truly have a holistic view of nutrition. Science, of course, was always at the center of everything with Alltech. And that's why we see a microscope at the center of our logo, always reminding us of the primacy of science. Today, we have 5 bioscience centers, augmented by over 20 research alliances globally. But Dr. Lyons also had curiosity in other ways. He wanted to travel, he wanted to learn about different cultures, and that is why he established offices in over 120 different markets. Today, Alltech has the great privilege of working with over 40,000 customers around the world, and our 5,000 team members are constantly focused on those customers, thinking about how we can improve our support that we provide for them. Alltech's focus is on providing smarter and more sustainable solutions for agriculture and for the agri-food industry. Alltech works across the agri-food chain, starting with the soil. We're thinking about how we can improve crop performance and quality, as well as looking at ways to improve the microbiome. So much of the focus of Alltech over the years has, of course, been in feed. And we do this through partnerships and through our own feed businesses. We have a great connection with the farmer and with the producer themselves, improving their efficiency, improving their profitability, and in so doing, improving their sustainability. And increasingly, we are working with the food producers, making sure that we're enhancing food safety, freshness, taste, and overall nutrition. Starting at the soil level, we are constantly looking at ways where we can reduce the use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. There's many different things we can do through our crop science business. Increasingly, we're partnering with a broader group of technologists and producers to improve that overall plant health, quality, and nutritional value. If we can do this, we can truly be producing materials that will have a much higher quality and overall better plant health. As we work with the producers, we have to realize that 70% of farm expense is actually tied up in feed. And so the utilization of that feed and the efficiency of that is so much of what we can do in terms of sustainability. There's a big challenge in front of us in terms of animal ag, and we need to make sure that we are improving what we are doing on farm. And so much of that is going to be focused through our feed. And increasingly at the farm level, we are bringing more and more analytical capabilities and services, knowledge that can help our producers to be more efficient and understand what's happening in real time at that farm level. We believe within Alltech and within the agricultural sector, we are on the brink of a new beginning. And this is led by a bold vision within Alltech, something we launched at our One conference in 2009. Back in the 1980s, my father started to talk about something we call the ACE principle. It stands for the animal, taking care of its well-being, the consumer, and their needs and wishes, and the environment, making sure that we're protecting our planet. This was really an idea that was well ahead of its time, something that you wouldn't have heard a lot about at that stage. And we have taken that idea and we've built into it a bigger vision, which we call Planet of Plenty. At the core of this, our belief is that agriculture has the greatest potential to positively shape the future of our planet. And that we need to have a vision of abundance, a vision of working together. We always say to our colleagues that working together, that collaboration, is the most important part of this message. It's our belief that working together, we can create a planet of abundance, having enough abundant, nutritious food and resources for our growing population. And through improving nutrition, we can actually have better health outcomes for our human and pet populations. We think about agriculture today, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of discussion about the impact that we have on our environment. But yet, if we look back over the last 40 years, we can see how so many improvements have been made. Truly, the efficiency improvements we've had over the last 40 years are truly staggering. And they should give us confidence in terms of how we can continue to improve going forward, given that there has never been such a focus on sustainability as there is today. We know that we can continue to improve if we simply can implement so many of the technologies and the programs that exist right now. It's likely that we could reduce greenhouse gas emissions in animal agriculture by a further 50%. And that's just the beginning. There are so many new technologies that are being developed. There's so many ways that we can manage our farms in different manners and that we can have more joined up thinking about things like regenerative agriculture. Those new business models are what are really going to move us forward. And it's why collaboration is such a critical element. If we can have that joined up thinking as an industry, we can achieve tremendous things. One of the most exciting aspects of our industry to me is the fact that we are one of the only industries that as a primary function sequesters carbon. This gives us the opportunity to potentially have a cooling effect on our planet. These are the types of things that really can make that difference. Our Planet of Plenty logo is made up of 3 elements, and it's no surprise that it should start with science. It's the science that helps us to create those new innovations. When we talk about sustainability, we talk about sustainability in a broad sense. We need to be thinking about economic sustainability, of rural community sustainability, and the sustainability of opportunities for all. And ultimately, we have to communicate and we have to tell the story of what we're doing. If we're not communicating effectively, this becomes very difficult to make sure that we are telling people what is happening within our industry and the positive progress that we are making. That science advances sustainability, and that sustainability aspect we have thought about in a very broad sense. We signed on for the UN Sustainable Development Goals 2 years ago and focus on 9 of the 17 goals. But the most important to me is that 17th, partnerships. It's through partnerships that we will really make an impact. Of course, internally, we are looking at ways to reduce our footprint. How can we improve our operations? And increasingly, we are seeing that this is going to happen through the supply chain, working with our suppliers and our customers alike for different ways to become more efficient and reduce that overall impact. We are also focusing on our communities. Alltech operates in over 350 communities, and in each one of these, we have social programs, following along with our values, very much focused on opportunity and education. But ultimately, everything happens when we have an opportunity to partner. And so that's where we have established now a Planet of Plenty partner program. This is a chance for us to be really implementing programs, but also telling our customer stories, and through so doing, telling our own, bringing things to life through that story. Partnership is really what is going to make the difference in terms of our mission of Planet of Plenty. When we think of Planet of Plenty, the possibilities within the pet sector are truly staggering. I heard recently that within the next decade, the pet food sector will have the same value as 1/3 of the entire agricultural sector. And so when we think about the types of things that Alltech can bring to the table, we will be continuing to focus on that science of nutrigenomics. We'll be thinking about overall well-being, digestive health, cognitive health, and longevity. And this can really help us to have better nutrition and health for our pets. We can also think about the impact we're having on the planet. By working through our crop science businesses, our livestock production partners, we can reduce the overall carbon footprint of pet foods. How else can we continue to improve? Well, we can utilize things like our Bioplex organic minerals to make sure that we are providing our pets with the most bioavailable food. This ultimately results in far less waste. We can also be thinking about ingredients and how can we upcycle ingredients that might possibly end up in landfill. Our pets can help us fight food waste. And ultimately, we want to look also at our packaging. How can we have improvements in overall sustainability around our packaging? One of the ideas that we've put forward is utilizing something we have within our business. We run a series of incubators around big topics that are facing our industry. why wouldn't we reach out and work in partnership with you to think about ways that we can tackle some of the big issues that are affecting the pet food sector? This is what it's all about. It's about partnership. It's about working together. That is the way that we ultimately can achieve this goal, this vision, this mission of working together for a planet of plenty.